Then you go to Nigeria, and you got one diocese bigger than, you got the Anglican Church in Nigeria is bigger than the entire Anglican parts of the West. You're talking about England, Canada, America. There's more Nigerian Anglicans than there are Western
And
Anglicans.
they still go to church every Sunday.
And they still go to church every Sunday. Some of them will walk for hours to get to church. And they will walk even knowing they could be ambushed and killed by Muslims or by
They
tribesmen.
have the real threat of religious violence in their country too.
Just look at it. They have the real threat. They're experiencing it, and the church is still growing, and they're still more faithful than us Westerners who are nice. Like you used to say in the Marine Corps about the folks in the rear, fat, dumb, and happy, because they don't know what's going on. They're just sitting around and they're fat. That's us in the West. We're fat, dumb, and happy. We think we're all have all this anxiety over these little small issues that we blow up to be huge issues. And then we look at our brothers and sisters in Africa, and you're looking at a priest standing in a mass grave of 30, 40 people, crying out to the Lord and crying out to the West and to the church in the West and to the American government. How long? Just like the saints under the altar and the throne in Revelations, crying out to Christ, to God, how much longer, O Lord, how much longer? So how much longer? These people, these Christians in Africa and in Asia have a faith that we can learn, that we have lost, and we think it's hard when we don't, it's too hot in the church, it's too, that's our complaints. No, we don't like the carpet, we don't like this. It's just this aesthetics. But you see what's going on. This is a poignant picture I saw in the Philippines after a cyclone went through, what we call a hurricane here. The church was flooded, and the church was packed with Filipinos standing in knee-deep water because it was Sunday to worship. They're standing there in knee-deep water. And I knew one of the bishops from Mindanao who would say that some people would walk 4 hours, 5 hours to get to Mass. Here, they complain about having to drive from Owens Crossroads. Drive from somewhere. You hear the complaints. These people walked hours, stood in knee-deep, brackish, stinking water to worship Jesus. That's the faith that I hope one day, if not in my lifetime, my children's lifetime, comes back to America. We don't see it, whether it's Roman, Anglican, or any of the Protestant groups.